Thanks. Yeah, I mean, two parts to this, because I can't speak too much to the specifics of it, other than, of course, you're right, these are things that, you know, we're not talking about overall health issues unless mental health is part of it. I think the critical issue, though, in terms of what we're talking about, and this is not just in relation to mental health, is first and foremost, service delivery. So before we consider whether a certain type of service should be included in terms of what's going to be prepaid in a system, we have to make sure that the delivery capacity is there. And so there's a whole range of things, and I would imagine that countries are at very different levels of development in terms of a delivery system to ensure different types of mental health services, whether basic or more severe. So I think that's the one thing, and that is not just about mental health. In fact, this is a bigger question that we are focusing a lot on, given the focus of this webinar, on financing, but many of the issues, I believe, are actually service delivery issues and not strictly financing. The other point on this, I think, would be to say, what should the public policy response be? So we have, in a case, not about putting this in one insurance scheme that might serve 5% of the population or another one that might serve 10, but rather how to, is it possible to have some regulatory function around this? So whether there are many schemes or just one or two, or it's just everything from the budget, that we can standardize certain basic services in the way that might be also similarly the case for things like TB treatment, for example, that your access to that treatment should certainly not depend on whether you've made a contribution, right? So these are things that each country has to do, but I can't see that we could have in any practical sense a kind of one-size-fits-all approach to this, other than ensuring that in the policy dialogue about what is to be considered for inclusion or exclusion, that the mental health concerns are fully represented there. Thanks.
Thank you very much to Joe and Pascal for answering those questions. I'm now going to hand back to Daniela, who will ask one more question in French. Thank you.
Merci. Oui, je vais partager mon écran pour la deuxième question en français. Alors, on a maintenant une question de Madame Hélène Baroy de l'OMS à Genève. Est-ce que tu peux la mettre en 1 minute